Hi guys, it's Anna here, and this is the first episode of the 3-part productivity series of how to have time for things that matter. In this video, we will cover 3 productivity concepts which will change how you look at your 24 hours you have in a day, will make you think about what is really important for you and how you can have more of it. We will also finish the video with my favorite thought-provoking time management exercise, which I usually do with my clients as part of my coaching program, which I hope will raise your self-awareness around how you spend time and will give you some food for thought. I'm Anna Lehman and I'm a personal performance coach, productivity and resilience trainer. My mission is to coach working women and men to shift their mindset from fixed to growth and unlock their potential through developing self-discipline, resilience and high performance habits for them to achieve joyful and fulfilling life. As someone who is wearing all the hats, I'm a mom of 2, a wife, a corporate 9-to-5 employee. I'm also an entrepreneur now and a person who just loves to have fun in life too. I'm super passionate about the topic of productivity. I have read tens of books on productivity and designed my own productivity system that has worked for me so far and hopefully will give some helpful tips for you too. As I mentioned already, there will be a series of 3 videos on the topic of productivity. In this video, we will talk about 3 productivity concepts to adopt, which will change your mindset around the productivity and how you look at it. In the second video, we will talk about 2 productivity disciplines that will help you to create more time in a day. And in the third video, we will talk about 2 main productivity drains, which can ruin your productivity flow and how you can go about it. Depending on when you watch it, the other videos might be out, so you can find the links in the description below. But I suggest you watch them in order to make sure you get that logical flow of messaging. Concept 1. Time is your most valuable, not renewable resource. American jazz icon Miles Davis once said, "Time isn't the main thing, it's the only thing." Many people don't think of it like that, but if you take a pause and reassess, you will acknowledge that time is the only thing that's not renewable in your life. Money comes and goes. Other things can also be replenished. Even health sometimes can be improved or paid for. But what absolutely can't be bought additionally or brought back is time. You have 168 hours in a week, and the only thing you can ensure is that how you can maximize those 168 available hours, but you can't physically generate more. I think I really embraced this concept when I started having children. I realized that I only have them for some time, and every moment is precious. And even if I have all the money in the world, I would never be able to turn back time and go through those moments with them again. Since then, I started to look at time, not just with kids, but generally at my time very differently. I became more intentional, more targeted with how I spend my time and what I spend it on. People always think that time is just something that happens to them, something that is there, but in reality, a huge game changer is when you start to realize that time is not what happens to you, but rather what you do with it. Think about it. When you run a company or a business, how would you approach your most valuable non-renewable resource in your business? You would probably start strategically and tactically plan for it, monitor its use, and find ways to maximize its value. So why would you not approach your time in the same way? I can tell you that you can only start working on productivity when you really embrace the concept that time is super precious and that you really want to be in control of every minute that you have and every hour that you have. Try to close your eyes and imagine yourself as a 90-year-old person in the rocking chair. How did you live your life? Have you spent your life and your time treating it as the most precious thing? Have you spent it on things that really mattered? What regrets do you have? Do you have regrets that you haven't watched the last season of The Bachelor? Or do you regret more that you have never started that side business you always wanted to try? Or spend more quality time with people who matter? Then sit on it for a few minutes. Now open your eyes. How do you feel now? I hope it has changed some perspective for you. And if yes, let's move on to concept number 2. Concept number 2. Productivity is not about working more, but it's rather about creating more time for the things that matter. I really want to encourage you to start looking at productivity from a different perspective and different angle, and think about it more from a perspective not that I need to work more, but rather how can I create more time in a day for me to do more things that really, really matter. Whether it's family, friends, travel, personal development, exercise, or working on setting up that side business you always wanted to do. It all depends on you, but it's just changing the perspective how you look at productivity. I would like to encourage you to think of productivity as one of the main displays of self-care and self-love. I'm sure many of you would like to spend more time on your me time, on quality time with family and friends, take on new hobbies or side projects, but instead you feel like you're constantly chasing your tail. I personally got really into this productivity concept and productivity mindset when I had moved countries and went back to full-time job with one 1-year-old child. I realized that if I don't take control of my day, of my diary, of my weekend plans, someone else will do it for me. Either my job or my household tasks or my parenting commitments. I knew what mattered to me, quality time with my husband and my children, not just checklist style kind of time spending, hectically running around trying to organize household life, but rather an intentional, fun time together. And whether you like it or not, but especially when you start having children, things around life maintenance start to consume most of your time. And if you don't put some framework and some structures in your life will eventually become mundane, work, home, kids, TV, and then rinse and repeat every day kind of thing. The point here is that unlocking your productivity will open so many doors for you. There might be some gaps in how you approach your daily life, whether you are not scheduling things, not setting up goals, or losing your time to some drains such as scrolling through social media or procrastination, which we will talk about in this series of productivity videos. But the main thing you need to manifest to yourself is that being productive is good. Concept number 3. Daily maintenance versus daily growth. There are 2 ways how we can actually target our time spending. We can allocate our time spent on the daily maintenance and daily growth. Daily maintenance, that is the amount of time we spend on activities required to maintain our day-to-day lives, such as sleeping, cooking food, cleaning, which are by default things you have to do. I also usually allocate here the daily commitments around kids, such as pickups and drop-offs, taking them to classes and organizing that all logistics around them. But these are the activities that are called to-do list, and they are not targeted at creating that growth in your life or moving you to a new level, be it professionally, financially, health-wise, or relationship-wise. Daily growth, that is the amount of time we spend on activities that create that growth in our various aspects of our life. This might be time working on your business or side hustle. It might be working on new fitness challenges. The same for me is quality time with people I love. For example, the time I go for a big walk with my 12-year-old daughter counts towards that daily growth bucket. This is that extra effort and time that will bring extra output, qualitative or quantitative. Many of us live in this default mode of going to work, pick up kids, cooking something for dinner, very often not even questioning what we are eating and why we are eating what we are eating, then switching on TV, then turning it off and going to bed, and then put it on the repeat every weekday with a bit of variety during the weekends probably. But for many people I know, especially if they have kids, weekends are very often controlled by the logistics and the classes that kids have to do, which again falls in that daily maintenance bucket rather than daily growth. Every time I schedule my week, and we will talk more about this in the episode 2 of my series, I make sure my growth elements are at least 10% of total available hours that I have. Now, when we spoke about how to look at productivity, try this exercise. This is the first exercise I usually do with my clients when they come to me with a request how to become more productive and streamline some of their habits in their life. It is called 24-hour priorities. For the purposes of this exercise, I created a special template for you. Time Management Exercise 24 Hours. The link to this template is in the description below. There is a tab called Instructions. That's where I explained all the steps that you have to take to complete this exercise. They are pretty self-explanatory, but I'm just going to give you a few examples how you can actually use it and what is the whole point and purpose of this exercise. The step 1 is that you need to go to File, make a copy, and create your copy of this document somewhere handy for you. Step 2 explains what you need to do in step 2, and step 3 explains what you need to do at the summary page of this exercise. So let's have a look at the example. Page tool is where you're going to be populating all the tasks that you do on your average day. This template is built on the premise that this is going to be a reflection of your average day. So if you do some of the activities once per month or once per week, you have to allocate time accordingly per day. For example, in this one, you can select work and commuting. It will automatically populate column C. In column D and E, you have to do a start time, minutes in hours and minutes, and then end time in hours and minutes. And then it will tell you the duration, how long did it take you to complete that step. Then you can select other categories and other tasks, for example, leisure, watching videos on demand, and it will populate the category for you here. Again, you complete the process with a similar approach. You select the start time in minutes and hours and the end time in minutes and hours, and it will give you the duration. So you do this for all the tasks in your 24 hours day. And then if the duration of the total activities is not 24 hours but less, as in this example, it will give you a hint that total time should be 24 hours. It means you need to go and review your start times and end times and adjust accordingly to give you 24 hours in this column. On the page summary, that's where you're going to have the summarized view of all your activities. Currently, it's pretty much blank because we haven't incorporated much on the page tool. But once you complete all of the activities, and I'll show you as an example here, just a quick example, you will see that when you go to summary, all of that is being self-populated with the times accordingly. Once you've completed all the summarized views, that's where you have to think about the questions. And that's where the whole essence of this exercise is. Notice what you notice and answer the following self-reflection questions. I prepared quite a few questions for you to think about and write and type the answers. You can do it on paper, but it's all pre-designed for you here, so you can type it here. And then once you get to the question 13, you will have this little blurb. That's the next step you have to take. Then you have to allocate priorities, actions, and commit to those. I hope this exercise will give you a bit more self-awareness how you spend your 24 hours and actually will make you think how you can start tweaking some of the moments to give you more time for the things that matter. Hope you found this video thought-provoking and adding value, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you the second episode of the productivity series very soon, where we will talk about productivity disciplines which you have to adopt to become more productive and more efficient. With care, Anna.